Today on the Voices podcast, I have a gentleman that is an Army vet. He's originally from Harlem, New York. I met him many, many moons ago when I was a young boy, and we just recently reconnected. Going through his social media, looks to me like he's doing a lot of heavy lifting in his community. He's working with the homeless, he's working with Boy Scouts, and I was curious to know if he's having any plans on getting into the city government. So part of the conversation we had is pertaining to that, but I did want to hear straight from him about some of the things that he's doing in his community. So without any further delay, here is Mr. Joseph Brodie from Henderson, North Carolina.
Just call me Joe. Yeah, that's what everybody call me. They used to call me. They don't call me some of everything. You know that. You know that.
Okay. Well, anyway, let's get started, man. So, yeah,
All right, let's go.
On the E Spot, Voices podcast, I got Mr. Joseph Brodie from Henderson, North Carolina. And the reason I wanted to talk to Joe, like I said, I've been knowing Joe. How long I've been knowing you, man?
Oh, it's just way back in the day. I think it had to be about the late 70s or
Late,
so.
so
Somewhere in the
well over 50 years, man.
70s. Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. And I like I said, when I left and you were still in school, I believe, and doing some things, and I didn't get in touch with you again until I think after, well, heck, just what, recently I think we reconnected, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's
Yeah.
it right there.
And then I found out that you had done some traveling with the military and all kind of things. You pretty doing a lot of heavy lifting around the community there, doing some things. But anyway, before we get started, you want to kind of introduce yourself. I mean, there's gonna be some people that know you, but there's gonna be a lot of people that don't know you. So I'm gonna give you a few minutes to tell my audience who you are and some of the things that you're doing.
Okay, no, thank you, and also thank you, Chester, uh for inviting me to this podcast. I greatly appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
I you know, like I said, we go way back when in the day. I think you briefly I had a little skit with my sister, and that's how I
Mm-hmm.
kind of knew you through that. And then your one of your younger sister, I mean your younger sister, Katie. I
Mm-hmm.
kind of worked with Katie over the years, and I know Katie real well, uh, and the rest of your family. So.
Uh-huh.
Uh, like I said, I've been around here for a while. My name is Joseph Brodie. My full name is Joseph Calvin Brodie Jr. I just lost my father a few years ago. He was a great asset to me,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and he was a real good friend, a mentor, and uh, fellow veteran, and all of that stuff. My father was, but
Yeah.
yeah, I graduated out of high school in 1976 from Van Senior High School, where I played football, wrestled, ran track, and all around what they call all around tough guy.
Oh yeah.
And I went into the military with that same kind of thing, that tough guy role, and wind up in 11 Bravo and did 2 tours of duty overseas.
What's 11 Bravo? Some of the military guys will know that term, but these civilian folks,
It,
what's 11
it's a,
Bravo?
yes, it's actually an infantryman, and at the time that I went in '76, Vietnam had just ended, and
Mm-hmm.
they had lost somewhere from records I've seen, somewhere in the neighborhood of 58,000 men lost their lives in and they were trying to fill some of those voids in the military. And so when
Mm-hmm.
I stepped in there, I was a great candidate for that.
Okay.
Uh, so they put me in 11 Bravo. Well, actually, I went in as a tank driver. Um, and so I did not go to tank driver school. So I wound up in 11 Bravo somehow. But
Okay.
anyway, that's what it is. It's a bushman.
Mm.
they call it a bushman, or they call it boots. The boots that are on the ground, all kind of they get names they give for 11 Bravo.
Okay.
So I was in Second Infantry Division. I went over there twice in Korea,
Hmm.
and went there the first time I was in there as a straight leg, what they call straight leg soldier. Uh, and then I went in as I was a tank driver, not a
Okay.
tank driver, but a APC driver,
Okay.
and so I had
Armored
a
personnel. Armored
pretty
personnel
good
carrier.
career. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what it is. And I
Uh-huh.
drove those for a while, uh, and um, and while in the military, I played football. I refurbished my football career, and I was with the Fort. I went to Fort Benning and played with the Fort Benning Doughboys for 2 seasons, where I was SD from duty,
Hmm.
and I was on the honor team in the military, where I went around and we went around to different uh, when high class members of the military passed away. We were there to do the 21 gun salute and the flag and
Okay.
and that. So I did
That's
that
like
for a
a
while too.
honor guard, we
Yeah,
call it.
I was on the honor guard for
Right.
and that
Okay.
was some great duty.
Oh yeah,
I
man.
tell you, I loved it out there at Fort
Right.
Benning. And then I got they cut orders for me to go back to Korea again, so I went back again.
Uh-huh.
So Uh, I was really, I mean, I was really truly a soldier at one time, but I made the decision to get out after 6 years in the military. So
Okay.
I got out, and from that point on, it was all service work,
Hmm.
back and giving back to innocent.
Okay.
Uh,
Now, did
you know,
you while you were
yeah.
in the military, any combat? Any
No,
combat duty?
only thing I done was uh, I was on the DMZ.
Okay.
With that second unit, we were commissioned up to on the DMZ, where we done patrols on the North Korea side and
Yeah. Okay.
different things like that. And
Hmm.
but no straight up military, no straight up none of that stuff like
Uh-huh.
that combat.
Yeah. Well,
So,
if you was on that DMZ, man, that's I mean, that's a
so
pretty tough duty up in that area, man. Especially now, how long you in Korea?
I like I said, I done 2 tours over there.
Mhm.
Each tour was a year.
Okay.
It's a year tour over there. And that
Eh,
second tour, like I said, it just that was the straight leg part of it.
Okay.
The straight leg where we walked from Camp Casey, which was in near. You was over there one time before, right?
I was at Osan.
I think you was over. Yeah, I think you was over there with the Air Force. But we
Right.
walked
Right.
from one of the we walked from Camp Casey, Korea, which is near well, it's in Tongdashan, but it was close to what you call Weijambu and all that stuff. But
Uh-huh.
anyway, we walked from there all the way to the DMZ in Pamwajan,
Okay.
and back, which totaled about 100 miles.
Geez.
That's a long way to walk.
Okay.
And after I came back, I was stationed at Fort Hood, Texas, with the First
Yeah.
Cavalry Division,
Hmm.
and that's where I decided I made the decision. Well, it was my decision, and that I just gone and just remove my get out of the military. So
Hmm.
I didn't want to soldier anymore. So
Yeah. Now,
I think it was a great decision because I came back and I've done a lot of things
yeah.
around here in Henderson.
Uh-huh.
As you already know,
Oh yeah.
like I
Yeah.
said, I started in the Boy Scouts. Well, that was my first thought was what was my love, which is football. And I started working with the recreation department and coaching football over there uh, uh, with when I think Eddie Hicks was working over there. Eddie had up to his passing. Eddie had worked over there for a long time. I remember Eddie when I first got out of the military. He was still at the Parks and Recreation Department.
Right. Right.
And, he's another uh, great guy around Henderson that done a lot of things for for the youth. You know
Yeah.
that.
I see
Yeah.
they
So
naming something about they're going to put a rename a street after Eddie Hicks, from what
Yeah,
I understand.
yeah, they are. They
Yeah.
are. They had done one for what's her name? The lady, she just passed away, but they named the operation center after her. You ever heard about that?
Uh-uh.
I forgot her name, but she was in the community doing a lot of things too. There were a lot of significant people that were doing a lot of things
Yeah.
in Henderson. I
Yeah.
think I don't know if I'm a what do you call it, the old goat? They call
Uh-huh.
it the old goat
Yeah.
when you've been around for a while.
Well, you've been
And
around,
I'm one of
Joe.
the ones around Henderson. Huh?
Well, let me ask you. Well, now you originally from Henderson, correct?
No, I'm originally from Harlem, New York. I was born and raised
Okay.
I was not raised. I was
Yeah.
born in Harlem, New York, in Manhattan, well, in Harlem, 125th Street,
Yeah.
7th Avenue in Harlem, New York.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. Hold
And
on
then we,
a minute. Let me step back 1 minute, and then I want to get into that. Let me step back for a minute to you brought up Eddie Hicks, right? Now, Eddie Hicks, in
yeah,
case people don't know in a little bit more about Eddie. Eddie was he was a pretty good football player in high school. And matter of fact, now you
yeah,
may
it
know
was.
about more about Eddie than I do, but Eddie played for the New York Giants, correct? Now, was he?
Yeah, he did.
Do you
Yeah.
know anything about that situation? I mean, was he drafted from college, or did he go straight out of high school to
Uh,
to the Giants?
I follow Eddie. I follow Eddie because I wrestled with him with the first wrestling team that came to Henderson.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I was young guy then. I didn't know nothing about it, but everybody was doing it, so I done it.
Right.
I went out for wrestling. Yeah, I wrestled with Eddie. I actually ran track with Eddie.
Okay.
But I did. My legs were kind of slower than there with them guys because him and Mike Davis and all them guys, they were fast, man. Them guys done. They were some of the fastest guys around the state of North Carolina at that time.
Is
But
that right?
Eddie. I played football with Eddie, and Eddie left Van Senior High School and went to East Carolina. No, he went to Harbaugh first
Okay.
Academy. He went to Harbaugh Academy and he stayed there for I think 2 years. Then he transferred to East Carolina where he was a standout. Matter of fact, he just got Hall of Fame with that not too long
Mm-hmm.
for East Carolina. And he left East Carolina. He was drafted. I don't know which round, exactly which round, but he married a cousin of mine. But anyway, he left there and went to the Giants, and
Right.
he played with the Giants.
Right.
So matter
Okay.
of fact, I was overseas when he did a 97 yard somewhere in that neighborhood, 90 something yard touchdown kickoff return because I think that's what he was specialized at that, and
Okay.
so he done 97-yard kickoff return. I saw it on TV when I was in Korea.
Mm. Okay.
Eddie
Okay.
was the man.
Gotcha. Okay.
He
Now,
was.
now I want to step back to like I said, now getting back to you now, I thought you were from originally from Henderson, but you
Mhm.
say you're from Harlem, New York.
Yeah, my father bought me and Sheila, my sister.
Hmm.
They, he bought us down here for our aunts. Back in the day, New York was New York, and you heard stories about New York. Uh, I heard stories of but they it was tough up there. It was tough in New York, and
Right.
especially in Harlem.
Hmm.
And so my dad one day he decided to bring me and my sister down here for my aunts to be raised. And so
Hmm.
my aunts raised us on Kitcher Street, over there in Johnson. That's before we moved over to Patton Circle. Uh,
Okay. Okay.
so that's how
Yeah.
that occurred. And
What?
she raised us.
How old were you when you came from New York to Henderson?
I had went to a few elementary schools in New York, PS is what they call public schools up there,
Okay.
and I went to a few of them before my father brought us down here, and and my aunts enrolled us in Eden Johnson back in
Hmm.
the day. Eden Johnson. I don't know which end of town you were. Which end of town you were?
Well, I'm Flint Hill, but Joe, you and I kind of sort of similar now. I was born in Franklinton, North Carolina, moved to
Oh,
Baltimore at a very young age, about second grade in Baltimore, and then, like you, transplanted back to North Carolina when I was in, I think about the fifth, maybe sixth grade, and back to Franklinton, then moved to Henderson. So I think from maybe about the seventh through high school. That's why I call Henderson my home, because that's where I did most of my, you would say, growing up period, in
Right,
Henderson. So that's
right.
why I
Yeah.
kind of call Henderson, well, I call Henderson my home. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So where'd you go to elementary school?
Eden John, I believe it's Eden Johnson, Joe.
You was at Eaton Johnson too?
Eden Johnson, did some time in school at Pinkston Street. And let me see, kind of get my thing. Where's Clark Street? No,
Clark Street School is right up there over where the tower at. You know that water
no,
tower?
no, no. I never went there.
You
Never
know the
went
water
there.
tower on Andrews Avenue.
Right. Right. No,
That's where Clark Street is.
but Eden Johnson, that's over by Henderson Institute, right? Is that?
Eaton Johnson, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So I started there, and then I went to Pinkston Street, then to Henderson Junior High, and then to Vance High. Yeah, that's where it went for me. Right. Mm-hmm.
Eaton Johnson, I mean not Clark Street is closed, and they made a Boys and Girls Club out of
Yeah, I
it.
saw that. I saw that.
And
Yeah.
it's moved out there by the new high school. By
Uh-huh.
the, well, Southern Vance is Vance County High School now.
Okay.
There's no Northern Southern. There's no Vance Senior High. All that's gone.
Okay.
But
Okay.
the memory still linked. I tell you,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
74. You were just here, right? For
Yeah.
74.
I'm sorry.
You were just here for the 74 class reunion?
No, I graduated in 75.
Oh,
Yeah, so
wow.
my 50 will be next year. They had their
Yeah, okay.
yeah, so
Well,
mine
that
will be
whole
next.
class, we had a joint cookout.
Okay.
I don't know if you heard about it. Did you hear about it?
Now, you mean with class 74? You
It
all,
was 75 and 76. And all your class members, I don't know
oh
if it,
yeah. You and I talked about that, I think, on a pre-interview I did with you. You were telling me that
oh, okay.
yeah, you guys did the
Yeah, we had a nice
did the
time, a
cooking.
nice
Yeah,
little
did the
showing.
cooking down there for that. Yeah. Well, I saw pictures.
Yeah,
Gloria posted a lot of pictures on that
yeah, yeah.
on
Hmm.
Facebook. So
Yeah.
yeah, I did see that on Facebook, but I didn't know you helped set that whole thing up, But
Yeah, me,
yeah.
me and John Steve,
Hmm.
Bob Davis, and Gloria, and a few other of your classmates
Okay.
all got together, and it was a nice time, fun time.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. So now
I thought you came out in 74 though. I really did.
no, man, I last
Oh, you're
class
right
reunion.
behind me.
Yeah, I graduated in 75. When
I
did you
graduated in 76,
76?
class of 76.
So you came out with Freddie Bruce.
Yeah,
Yeah, I just did a
Fred
interview
on.
with him last week. I don't know if you
Yeah,
heard.
I watched some of it, then I'm gonna go back and watch the rest of it later. Sound
Yeah.
like it was getting ready to get interesting.
Yeah, he pretty interesting guy, man. He's
Yeah, he
you
is.
know, I mean, really, man, all you guys, man, that I'm talking to and stuff, man, you guys, I mean, you unique people, man. You do a lot. Like I said, Joe, you doing a lot of, from what I can see, a lot of heavy lifting around Henderson, man, with some of the community stuff that you're doing, especially with the Boy Scouts.
Right.
Um, I mean, how long you been with the Scouts?
I started with
I
the
don't want to.
famous.
I don't want to excuse me. I don't want to leave Donna Floyd out, but go ahead. Tell me how
Oh
long.
no, no! I
Yeah.
just saw Mr. Floyd. When me and Mr. Floyd just got together this weekend, and we had a good time. Our intentions were to get more fathers involved. So
Hmm.
we every year now, in honor of fathers, we have a father-son camp out,
And I
and
saw that.
it was nice. It
I
was
saw your
nice. We went
pictures.
to the pool. Some
Uh-huh.
guys went fishing and caught a few fish, and
Right.
the fathers were, they were aching. You could hear the aches and pains after they left them out of there, but because they
Uh-huh.
used to being out there in the woods and stuff. Some
Right.
of them are, but they have to readjust themselves. It's different when you go out there in the woods
Uh-huh.
than it is, just average camping out.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we had
Well,
a ball, but I started.
those guys are learning life skills, man, from
They are, and
what you
you know,
guys
to
are
see them
doing there.
fathers. Just imagine just imagine if you could get more fathers involved with their sons,
Right.
how much the crime rate would go down. Some of everything would go down once
Yeah.
you get them fathers in there, because the fathers are the key, and that's a real bad problem we have now in the United States, where we don't, most families are being broken,
Uh-huh.
and families were broken back then, but
Oh yeah. Yeah.
you know we had some warrior women back in those days that will they didn't play no games.
Yeah.
The females back then didn't play no games,
Well, they
and
and some of them back then, they females had to play both roles, mom and dad,
that's what I'm saying.
kind
And
of
that's
like
the
you
same
did.
thing now, but
Yeah.
it's a little bit worse because they're starting so some of the mothers are so young. They're just you may have a baby. If you have a baby, what, at 15 or so, then when the kid grows up, when the kid comes out, you're still a child yourself. Really.
Right.
You look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of these mothers are real young, and they don't know what they don't have this. I don't know what it is. They just don't have the ingredients to raise some of these boys and
Right.
girls, really,
Yeah.
to be, because it takes some real discipline,
Mm-hmm.
and it takes some downright. Sometimes you have to put that love out there,
Yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
and,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah.
and so 'cause, that's how we learned.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that strap, man. You know.
Yeah, that's how we learned that
S-
you had to put that you had to sometimes you had to put that spare that rod they talk about in the Bible.
Right. Sometime, man, that using that strap, man. I mean, to me, if it's bad enough, Joe, to get your ass tore up, I mean, pardon my expression, especially if I've warned you three, four, five times. Because sometimes, man, it's necessary. You know.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of these kids are actually running the household themselves.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the mother's there, but she's busy. Some females are working two and three jobs, and
Right. Right.
just so as long as they don't kill nobody, I'm fine with them. Y'all just
Yeah.
leave me alone. I'm tired. I've worked out, and
Mm-hmm.
the kids just do. They just do. You
Yeah.
know, they just do their own thing, and see that's a problem,
Yeah. Yeah.
because if you don't lay down that discipline on them, it's gonna be a problem
That's right.
in the long run. It will be.
Yeah.
So, like we were talking about Boy Scouts, I'm gonna go back to it because that
Mm-hmm.
you know I started in 1999 at Shiloh Baptist Church as a scout pastor there. I didn't know a thing about scouting
Mm-hmm.
at that time. I know only what I learned from Robert Scott, who was the Cup master back in the day when we were growing up.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
was
He's my scoutmaster,
you know
matter of fact. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
hmm Uh, he was really a role model. What the role models we talk about, back in the day when we were coming up, there were a lot of men, Mr. Cash,
Yeah.
that I think I listened to some of Freddie was saying
Right.
on his talk.
Yeah.
Uh, Mr. Cash, Mr. Mims at
Mm-hmm.
our church,
Yeah.
Mr. Cushionberg,
Yeah.
uh, who else? My uncle, he's my cousin, but I used to call him my uncle,
Mm-hmm.
Robert F. McKnight Jr., who was a drill sergeant
Yeah.
and very very instrumental in me going into the military.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a lot of male role models, and a lot of them passed on, and that's why I started that this nonprofit I have called Carolina United for Change,
Okay.
with that torch on it. You can see the
Yeah.
background back here.
Right. Right.
It's time for the torch to be passed on to guys like us,
Okay.
we're older, but we still have something to give to some of these kids, to
Yeah.
these kids growing up.
Yeah.
We got a lot to give to them, not just a little.
Right.
But anyway, that's how I started through some of the red male role models and I learned about scouting then.
Mm-hmm.
We used to ride around and go to Dorton Arena down there and see all the scouts and all the activity that went on down at Dorton Arena. But
Right.
when football time came, that was the end of my scouting career.
Okay.
Really,
Okay.
it was.
Uh-huh.
But I started in 1993, 99, had a scout troop over at Shiloh Baptist Church under Reverend Joseph Ratliff. And I went to Scoutmaster school and graduated from that after a couple of years and being involved in it. And then I knew that some of the things that I need to do to help bring some of these boys along in advancements in scouting,
Hmm.
which is necessary for the development of from youth to adult. So,
Okay.
um, I learned about that, and I used to travel all over the state of North Carolina with the boys that I had. I only had a few of them. I started out with a bunch because you always start out with a bunch of them, and then a lot of them just fall by the wayside either because the parents can't get them to meetings or one or the other. You know, back in the day when we were coming up, we just jump on the bike and ride anywhere we want to
There
ride
you
over
go,
there.
man, or walk.
And yeah, or either walk, one or the other. We
Y-
didn't, nobody ain't had to carry us and pick
Yeah,
us up and
exactly.
to nothing that we wanted to do.
Yeah,
The parents just let us do, and we knew we weren't gonna get it, don't get in no trouble. We
that's right.
knew, you know, so it was just these times are different.
Oh
So
yeah, yeah.
I bought up all those boys through scouting, and they advanced. I bought up two or three Eagle Scouts, three
Okay.
Eagle Scouts, and my son would have got Eagle Scout, but he passed. He got my son. He got to Life Scout,
Hmm.
and he went through school, and then when he graduated, he didn't know what he wanted to do with. Uh, I didn't really push it like I should have, but finally he got into the streets, and
Mm.
before I knew it, somebody had taken his life. A
Oh
bunch
wow.
of kids had taken his life through gun violence. So I'm real big on that. I started a
Yeah.
scholarship in his name
Okay.
uh, for gun violence, and I'm always pounding the pavement for that. And people are readily giving to that because that's a great cause, Because
Yeah.
we just had this weekend, just
Hmm.
14 gun related shootings.
You.
Yeah, they had
Mhm.
at these Juneteenth celebrations. They're having kids get together,
Yeah,
and then
man.
there's some drinking going on, and next thing you know, somebody pulling out a gun.
Isn't that a shame, man? At a
And
celebration
yeah,
like that. Yeah. Just unreal,
we
man.
had one Saturday. We got ours this Saturday, but
Okay.
Henderson just kind of slowed down because I know you've heard that one time we were having shootings around Vance County.
Oh man. I saw one
Uh,
on TV, man, at a gas station. I mean, I think it's been a couple of years
yep,
ago, but yeah,
yep,
man, I'm like,
yep.
what in the world's going on?
Yeah, that's right down the street there. They're
Yeah.
shooting at Gate City. What is it? Gate City Foods or whatever that is, right there
Hmm.
on 39 down there. Some kids went in there. Ah, man, they were shooting for what? And probably most of the time it's nothing.
Uh-huh.
It's for nothing. I mean, you
Right.
have to say something to somebody wrong, and that's it.
Right.
And somebody pulled out a gun.
What did you all do there to kind of quiet some of that
There,
stuff down? But so tell me a little bit about that if you know.
there's some stuff going on around here. A few years ago, our new mayor. I don't know if you have heard of her, Melissa Elliott.
Okay. Yeah.
First African American mayor, Vance County.
Hmm.
And we were significant. A lot of us were in the organization and trying to get her in office.
Okay.
And she got in there, and I think you said you had something going on with Geraldine Champion later on.
Yeah.
She got in there to sit in the city council with her,
Hmm.
Michael Venable and T.J. Walker. She's
Okay.
a veteran too, a Navy veteran, but
Hmm.
they all are on the city council now.
Okay.
But anyway, Melissa Elliott, back to her, she started an organization called Gang Free,
That's it.
and
That's the name.
yeah, she started an organization because you know what I mean. I sit around here, but I live in Williamsboro. I've been out here 25 years. And
Okay.
I go to the city because I have business.
Okay.
But other than that, I like somebody called me a country boy the other day. I said, "Yep, I'm definitely a country boy."
Uh-huh.
For barefooted, and we used to go barefooted all the time, and it'd be so hot outside. We'd take off, and you didn't have no air conditioning
Yeah.
growing up back in them days.
That's
Shoot,
right.
it put that fan in there, it blowing out hot air.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up in those times, so yeah, I'm definitely a country boy, and I'm proud to be a country boy. Shoot.
Yeah.
But
Although
it,
you're from the city. Exactly.
yeah, although I'm from the city,
Yeah.
I remember those times too. But nothing like being down here
Oh yeah.
in North Carolina.
I'm telling you, man.
So,
Especially that
uh,
area you live in, man. I mean, it's to me, Joe, it's just something about that place, man. I don't know if you saw I did a drone shot of Henderson, and
yeah,
I mean, just when I got my drone up in the air, just the quality, just looking at the quality of the air through the camera of that
right.
drone, man, it was just, to me, just so, I don't know, just gave me a good feeling, to see it.
Henderson
Yeah, see
or
Henderson from
Will.
that
Oh yeah,
altitude.
Henderson.
Yeah.
Henderson. You know
Uh-huh.
what?
Yeah.
It really, if you look at it, it really hasn't changed that much
Mm-hmm.
from when we were younger.
Mm-hmm.
Henderson had, I mean, you would think I would know the change,
Mm-hmm.
but it hasn't changed that much. I mean, they don't. The biggest business that came to Henderson, most of the business come here to Henderson, and they don't just the crowd rush to go to them right when they
Okay.
first get here,
Right.
and then after that new smell wears off,
Yeah, the initial contact.
they
Uh-huh.
wind up leaving
Oh, is
because
that
they
right?
can't make no money.
Uh,
Yeah, they wind up
yeah.
leaving. The
Wow.
biggest thing that came to Henderson was Walmart distribution center.
Okay.
That's doing all the Walmarts up the
Now
coast there.
that's been out there for a minute, hasn't it?
Yeah, it has. I worked there myself for about 5 years up in there, and
Uh-huh. Was it
I worked in the freezer.
after the military, or was it there before you?
Yeah, after the military,
Okay.
I worked there, and I
Uh-huh.
did for 5 years. Well, right now, my status now is uh, I'm 100% disabled
Mm-hmm.
from the military,
Okay.
and I'm retired
Mm-hmm.
from mental health. So
Okay.
my last job was with Edco, working with
Okay.
mental clients. So
Okay.
any way I can give back, I give back. That's me.
Yeah. Any plans in the future for you, Joe, getting into the city government? I see
I really, you know
look
what?
like some stuff.
I think this is my last hurrah, Chester. I really do. I
Mm,
want to help. I stayed in it this long because I've been in it for two presidents now, you could say.
uh-huh.
I got into it, especially when Donald Trump came in office. I don't know if I need to talk about that
You can talk
politics
about
here or
anything you want to
or
talk
what,
about,
but
man.
when he stepped up there, I said, man, I've got to do something. And then they had the real big the Black Lives Matter piece that went off,
Mm-hmm.
and I said I've got to do something. So I reached out to the NAACP, the local NAACP. I'm in that now
Okay.
with
Good.
Jamil Williams, who's the president of this organization around here.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
Okay.
he's doing some good things.
Mm-hmm.
But I reached out to uh, what's his name, Jesse Jackson and Rainbow Push
Okay.
organization,
All right.
and
Any
one
response?
of the how yeah, I got a response from him, and
Okay,
that's where
good.
we actually Carolina United for Change started as Rainbow Push of North Carolina because we
Okay.
didn't have a branch,
Mm-hmm.
and so when I found out I couldn't really support it by just using that name,
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow Push. I
Okay.
decided I needed to do something and put it legal paperwork in for Carolina United for Change, where
Okay.
any proceeds that come in come directly to us, and we can do what we do around Vance County. And what we do around Vance County is supply toys to needy kids that don't have any anything for Christmas. We do food drives. We do we do a big service event every
Mhm.
year where we recognize Miss Hilda Delbridge. You remember her?
Uh,
Hilda Delbridge coached tennis and volleyball at Van
I,
Senior High School.
I don't, man. I don't.
You don't remember Miss Delbridge?
It'll probably
Little
come
short
to me.
lady, huh? She
Not right.
coached basketball too. She
Not
did
right.
all the things for women.
Well, Joe, I'm gonna tell you now. When I was in school, man. Now, I was raised by my grandparents, right? Now,
Yeah,
hey, look, man, they didn't have much, so anything I wanted, needed, hey, look here, Hoss, I had to get out there and work for it, man. So when I was in school, man, I was in the tobacco field. I was driving
yeah,
school bus. I was working for Roses. I
yeah.
was
You was wide open.
Man,
You was wide
look, as far as working, man, I wanted a car. I got a car when I was 16. The day I turned 16, I bought a car, you know, uh, and I was too small, man, to get out there playing sports. So I wasn't no basketball or football player, you know. I only Joe when I graduated high school, man, I ain't weigh but 124 pounds, man. I
I
did
was
play.
lightweight. I was lightweight too.
Well, look, I played football at Henderson Junior High for 1 year. Me and Donald Williams, and I don't even think I finished that season out, man, because I got a stinger. I got a stinger, man. We was playing a team, man, of some country white boys from somewhere, and man, they put a trap block on me, man. I was linebacker, right? They put a
Been
trap
there,
block
done
on
it.
me, Joe, and somehow they hit me, man, and I got a stinger, man. That was it for me, Joe. I done,
Yeah.
you know.
I think we
So,
had talked about that one time before. I think you had said
well,
something about that you had came off football one year. I
man,
tell you, man,
so I won't do
I
no sports. But look, hey,
yeah,
not to cut you off, but look, we used to play y'all. Well, you know how we used to do on Saturdays, man. We used to get together and Flint
yeah.
Hill
Uh,
against Patton Circle and
yeah,
man, all
Ted
them
E.
and
Johnson
Eden Johnson
and
over there
travel all over town.
at Henderson Junior High School, man. I remember one we met you guys over there at Flint Hill. From Flint Hill, met you guys from Patton Circle over there one Saturday, man, and you and Bob Davis and them, man. Me and Bob Davis got in a fight, man, and man, it was crazy. I don't
I
know
tell
if
you,
Bob. I don't know if Bob still remember that, man. We got in a fight over some. I mean, just crazy stuff, man. Kids and man, I wore them bruises, boy, all for about a week or two after that. That Bob put on me, you know. So, no, I wasn't in the sports, man. So, I don't remember that later, but it may come back to me. It may come back to me,
yeah, I
you
tell
know.
you the truth, man. You know what? I can remember you back in the day because in between you and Linwood Martin, and Lin was
Mm.
in my class. But
Uh-huh.
y'all guys had some of the shapest daggone afros I ever seen in my life, and
Oh yeah, man.
it didn't have no cuts in it. Or that it was just sharp.
The,
You know,
the link
y'all guys
Hayes,
wore some nice afros, man.
the link
I
Hayes,
wanted to
man.
commend y'all about that. I don't know what y'all did, but I had to do. I tried to get my jump blowed out and all that stuff.
Uh-huh. That was it.
You
That was
know,
an Afro sheen, brother.
the big
Yeah,
rake,
yeah,
what you call them?
man.
The
The
rakes we used
big
to use to
rakes.
blow them jumps out with.
Yes, sir.
Man, I tell you, man, those
Yeah,
were the days, man,
yeah, man. Yeah,
for real.
yeah, man. We had the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
So,
look,
but
get back.
anyway, I
I
did.
ain't want to get you off track. Go ahead. Get back to your thought.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Back to this nonprofit I have.
Uh-huh.
Uh, we like I said, we do $1,000 grant every year to Vance Gravel Community College for minority students.
Okay.
We specify give it to somebody minority, not some of these little rich kids around here. Give it to one of the minority students, whether it be a Hispanic or whatever. You know, just but
Okay.
make sure it's a minority student that receives this $1,000 scholarship. So
Okay.
we do that every year in the name of my son that was killed in gun violence and.
Mm-hmm.
Also, what else do we do? Oh yeah, we do the MLK drive, which is very successful every year. Everybody commends us on that. Every year we do because that's what the MLK Day is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be doing some service work in your community, wherever you may be at.
Okay.
And so every year we collect goods for shelters, homeless shelters. And there's
Mm-hmm.
about 4 or 5 in Vance County. The recent one is this one they just started because the homeless shelter used to be in the wintertime so that the
Okay.
homeless people can come in from the cold.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
so a lot of big pocket people from around Vance County because as you know, there's some money here in Vance County. There's a
Mm-hmm.
lot of money here, but they just uh, so they finally got it dug in their pockets deep, and now they've started a year-round shelter now, so that the men won't have to. And after the winter time's over, they don't have to leave if they
Okay.
do what they need to do. Of course, you have to have rules and stuff, but
Right.
as long as they do what they need to do, they can stay there year round. You
Mm-hmm.
know, and until they can find them somewhere else or
Okay.
whatever. But um, that's what the shelter's about now.
So you bring them into the shelter, and what do you do? Try to rehab them to get them to the point where they
Yeah,
can go out and get a job.
yeah,
To is
yeah,
that working pretty good?
yeah. It is, and then a lot of those men that come in there need health care, and they
Okay.
don't have health care.
Mm-hmm.
So I think they pick up that tab too for getting some of those men. some help and getting them health care. So
Okay.
they
And you say
they
men,
they, they really
is it men and women? You say men. Is
no,
it
it's that's just a men's shelter.
oh men's shelter? Do they have a
That's just a men's shelter. Yeah,
women's shelter
they
or
have a women. They just they had well, they got Life Youth. I don't know if you've heard of Life Live Ministries.
no I haven't.
That's a battered women's shelter
Okay.
that women but they also in combination with uh women that don't have anywhere to go with their kids, they can go
Okay.
in there and Life Live. But it's actually it was started for women that were battered.
Okay.
Uh, and then they have a couple of little smaller ones for alcoholic and drug needs. Females
Okay.
that are addicted. They translate back into the in society from their addiction and stuff. Because I'm real big on that too. I've got a degree from Van Scramble Community College
Hmm.
for that for addiction and recovery.
Okay.
And so I utilize that to correspond with whatever I'm doing. That kind of plays a big role with me to try to help another alcoholic or recovering alcoholic, because I myself was addicted
Hmm.
to alcohol for a long time, and I recovered and haven't really drank anything for 25 years.
Oh, I commend you for that,
But
man. It's good.
yeah,
That's
I
good.
tell you,
Yeah.
and ever since I quit, my life just turned around
Yeah.
another direction. After that,
Hmm.
so I see a bunch of brothers now, and I'm willing to reach out to a cousin of mine who's going through some stuff. I ain't calling no names, but
Right. I understand.
he's going through some stuff. But I'm just trying to help him out,
Yeah.
and try to let him know that uh, some things that he may need to think about doing if he want
Hmm.
to remain clean and sober.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've got a lot of things going on, Justin,
Yeah.
really.
So you're Carolina United for Change. Some of the
Hmm.
things you just mentioned, that's all a part of that.
Yes, we're doing a lot of things.
Uh-huh.
Doing a lot of things every year. Uh, like I said, the most recent thing we done was that event that I was telling you about, where we invited Miss Delbridge over, and she was given for her many years of reaching out to young female women
Okay.
and helping them and get back on track or whatever they need to do to get their life together.
Yeah.
So we done that, and we raised a lot of money off of that, and the building was packed. We had live entertainment and food, and we do that every year.
Okay.
So
Okay. I'll have to look her
we're
up, man,
busy.
but it'll probably come back to me. But right now, it's not ringing a bell for some reason. I mean, I'm
All I can tell you is
yeah.
that she was the coach of the girls basketball teams at
Okay.
Vance Senior High School,
Uh-huh.
and she was also the tennis coach for
Okay.
all of the women that played tennis, and she was a Caucasian lady,
Hmm.
and she was short. You may know Miss Vaughn. She took over
I
in
remember
the
that
later
name.
years and
Okay.
started doing. Miss Vaughn was a kind of heavy set, dark skinned lady.
Hmm.
She done a lot of coaching of the girls too. So you had a black coach and a white coach. So
Okay.
I don't know. Everything was kind of divided, just like it's kind of is now. A lot of
Yeah.
stuff is divided now.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
You said you didn't want to bring up Trump, man, but I mean, just for a minute, man, I mean, this guy, man, I'm gonna tell you, man, we got to educate some folks, man, and I mean,
yeah.
people don't. I mean, they don't watch the news. They have these devices they carry around. I don't know what they do with them, but man, this guy here, man, I'm gonna tell you, he just can't let this dude get back in there, man. I mean, he's
No, it's dangerous. It's
yeah,
dangerous. Uh, it's dangerous for him to even get back in office. And the thing about it is the cult-like following that he has.
yeah.
Cult-like.
I
You
don't
remember back
understand it.
when we was growing up, we saw the pictures of you remember Jim Jones?
Yes, sir.
You remember Jim Jones and all those
Oh
people
yeah,
in Guyana that
yeah,
drank all that Kool-Aid.
yes, sir.
That's the way these people acting.
Yeah,
Like he told them to go. Them people did what they didn't drink that Kool-Aid because it was hot.
no,
They drank that Kool-Aid because they did what he asked them to do.
that's what he asked them to do. And Joe, I believe right now, if he would ask them to do it, some of these fools would do it, man. That's how. I,
They already did it. They already did it. Somebody did it. Remember when somebody did it with what's his name? When they was having a conference, the news conference about COVID,
mhm.
and
Oh
the
yeah,
country really, the country.
Yeah.
Somebody said it the other day. They said the country, COVID ain't going nowhere.
It ain't
People
going
just
nowhere.
don't care no more. And
Yeah.
that's the way it is. People don't care about COVID no more. Do
Mm-hmm.
you know 1 million people lost their life? Well, I'm
Yeah.
sure you probably know
Oh
it's a
yeah.
lot of people lost their life,
Oh
but
yeah.
it's
Yeah, man.
almost 1 million. It probably was 1 million people that
Mm-hmm.
lost their life.
It was
You
over.
know, a
Yeah.
million people just dead. People you knew,
And he
people
don't
you
want to
know,
talk
you
about
and
it.
I knew.
Yeah,
I knew you remember A.V. Richards?
I do.
Big
I
A.V.
do.
Richards, Big
I do.
A.V. and his family, they all sang a lot,
Yeah.
played piano.
Yeah.
A.V. passed away right there doing that.
You know,
He told
he
he
didn't want to
told them
panic.
people,
He didn't want to panic the folks. So he said, "You know, man, what the hell? You know."
he told them people, yeah, he told them people, yeah, a lot of people could have, and then the part about the masks.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the part that ate me up. Why, why are you against masks?
Right.
It could have one of those bus drivers could have been on that bus because a lot of bus drivers lost their life because people
Yes,
just
sir.
got on the bus with COVID and they were
That's
coughing
right.
and carrying on while he driving the bus. And he, he said it makes you look weak if you got on a mask. What?
Yeah. Yeah.
Look how many people could have lived by by listening to what he said
Exactly.
and
Exactly.
put on masks.
Yeah.
Uh, and so he was what I was talking about was that lady. She came up there and they were talking about uh, some of the things that they may could do to help render the distancing, stay away from others, keeping your hands washed, all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And he came out with the stupidest thing talking about drinking some bleach.
Exactly.
Maybe we just all need to drink some bleach and it'll clear us up, it'll clean us out.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
And somebody did that.
Oh yeah.
We were talking about cup like things. Somebody actually did that.
Man, people taking horse pills. I mean, all kind of crazy
Yeah.
stuff, man. Over this dude. You know.
I didn't want to take the
And,
COVID vaccine.
mm,
I put it like this. At first I said I'm not taking that vaccine.
mm-hmm.
A friend of mine, me and him used to talk all the time, and he said I ain't taking it either. And so I was
Uh-huh.
like, well, that's gonna be two people I know that ain't gonna be taking no vaccine. But sooner or
Mm-hmm.
later, I think he caught COVID. Yeah, he had a family gathering uh, for for I think for Thanksgiving that year when it first came out,
Mm-hmm.
and but people were telling people not to get together, and because especially if you ain't vaccinated, you know, and people in his family got together and he wound up catching it. People
Okay.
were doing. People were saying it ain't gonna happen to me. They had that kind of philosophy.
Yeah.
It's gonna happen, especially the younger kids. They didn't think they could catch it because
Right.
they were
Right.
young
Yeah.
and they had no health problems and stuff. And I just
Mm-hmm.
looked at him. Even my son, I told him, I said, man, you need to go and get vaccine. I ain't taking no vaccine. I said, all
Mm-hmm.
right, bro. I'm
Mm-hmm.
taking all the vaccines.
Yeah.
Not that I'm saying, but I never caught COVID.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Me either, Joe. I
I,
didn't get it.
I
Yeah.
didn't. I didn't ever catch it. And I ain't gonna say it was you. Did you take the vaccines? I
Yeah.
mean, I know that might be a personal question.
No, no, no. I took it, man.
Yeah,
I took
yeah,
everyone that came out. Yeah.
yeah. I did. I did
Especially,
too.
I was well, not during that time, but shortly after, things started winding down. I came down with this pancreatic cancer, man. So, man, I almost
Yeah.
had to go in that hibernation, to trying to
Right.
stay away
Right.
from that stuff, because if I'd have caught that
Yeah.
that,
Yeah.
that time, man, it ain't no telling, Joe. I
Yeah.
probably wouldn't have made it through that, So,
For sure.
yeah,
For
but any
yeah,
vaccine,
for
man,
sure.
yeah, I take them, man. Well, the military, hell, we've taken all kind of shots back there. Well, you know what they,
Yeah, but
you know.
on top of that, they the VA hospital up here in Durham.
Uh-huh.
I don't know if you're familiar with that or not,
Yeah,
but
I've been there. I've been there on a couple occasions. Yeah.
yeah. But the
Mm-hmm.
one up there in Durham, uh, the two times I went up there to get I got my first vaccine there, and
Mm-hmm.
doctor, the dentist upstairs was up there, and he said, "Have you had? I see here you ain't had your shots." I
Mm-hmm.
said, "Darn, they got my record sitting up here." He said, "You ain't had your shots." He said, "Do you know?" They're giving shots down in the basement, free shots for vets. I
Mm-hmm.
said, okay. I don't think I was going. I still wasn't planning on going. Then he came out his mouth and said, you know what? Do you know? Because, they give you the little card now. You
Yeah.
see when you had the dates you had your shots, so you had to show your card with had your vaccines and stuff. And
Mm-hmm.
he said, well, it's going to be a time you ain't even going to be able to get in the VA hospital.
Mm.
this was at the early stages of uh, when they was putting out the vaccines.
Okay.
It wasn't the early stage of COVID, but when they were putting out vaccines. But anyway, he said, "Y'all, you ain't gonna even be able to get in the hospital to get any care if you ain't had the vaccine." I said, "Wow,
Hmm.
y'all can put that kind of mandate on us."
Yeah.
So I went and sat in the car. I still didn't even go downstairs and get there. I sat in the car for a few minutes. I
Hmm.
said, "To get this nipped in the bud," I said, "I'm just gonna have to. It can't kill me. Hope
No.
it can't kill you." Back then we had doubts.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
I remember when not Holyfield, but one of the boxers, Hagler. You remember Marvin Hagler?
I remember Hagler. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Mad Hagler died from
I didn't know that,
they
Joe.
tried to, yeah. You
I
didn't
did
know
not know
Hagler
that.
was
I
dead.
didn't even know Hagler was dead, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Hagler died during COVID.
Really?
Yeah, he did.
Oh,
He
okay.
did. He did.
Okay.
And so when Hagler died, uh, they had a whole lot of controversy saying he had just recently taken the uh the COVID,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody was using that, and
As an
I
excuse.
don't think that was true, but they
Yeah.
tried to say that.
Right. Yeah.
So I sat in the car for a little while, and after that I said, I'm going on here to nip this because I don't want to keep on hearing about all this and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah, he died March 13th, 2021. Marvin
I,
Hagler,
I did not know that Marvin
and
Hagler
they
died.
tried to say he died from the COVID shot because he had
Okay.
recently took it.
Wow.
They tried to join that
Yeah.
up,
Anything
but
to deter
yeah,
you from taking
yeah.
that shot.
If
Yeah.
Marvin Hagler was a bad man, wasn't
He was, man. He was bad, man.
he?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Tyson trying to come back. I don't know about that.
Yeah, they said Tyson's supposed to be fighting here pretty soon, don't
Yeah, he's supposed to be fighting some young boy, man, but he got a hernia, so they kind of put it on hold. So I don't know. I don't know what Tyson gonna do, man. I don't know.
he?
Tyson stay out that ring, man. That Tyson in the damn in the 60s, ain't he? Or is he?
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Well,
he up
Tyson
there.
got to be about 58. He pushing going to 60, bro.
He too old to be getting in the ring with that young boy. I see that, but hey, man, I don't know. I
He
mean,
might scare that boy to death, man, because he put that look on you, boy.
yeah, I seen Tyson working out now. I mean, he looked good hitting that bag that ain't hitting back. But one good punch, Joe. Hey, you know, you weak man.
Yeah,
Hey, that's a game changer. Could be, but
for real.
we'll see what happens. We'll see.
Yeah, yeah. That's
Yeah,
crazy, boy. I tell
yeah,
you,
man. But I won't get off
it
track
is for him.
with what you got going on. But I mean, like I think I asked you, and I don't know if you answered my question or not. But you're not looking to pursue anything in the politics at this time, as far as
Nah,
you getting
nah.
into the city government, nothing, anything like that.
I
I
don't
mean,
think so.
running for
You
office,
know what?
should I say?
I
Running
find
for
it pretty
office.
good. Yeah, I find it pretty good to work behind the scenes.
Okay.
You know, and the type of work I done revolves around growing
Uh,
up without a father.
yeah.
And my mother was not in the household either. So I had the worst of two worlds because I didn't have the love from my mother, and I
Hmm.
didn't have that hardcore type of stuff
Hmm.
from my father.
Right.
And so a lot of stuff I growing up, I had to make a lot of decisions. Like you said, I started early too, man. I was in the same tobacco fields you was in
Hmm.
with that bologna sandwich and that cold water that bust your head over when you
Yes,
drink it
sir.
it's so cold.
Oh yeah.
I was in
Yeah.
that. I was in the, out there too because we didn't have nothing. I mean, I
Hmm.
moved over there on Pat Circle in a beautiful house.
Hmm.
That was because of you know, back then they gave servicemen from the military was
Hmm.
given that GI Bill first came out. No man could
Uh-huh.
come home and get that home loan and buy them a home
Yeah.
because they wouldn't even let after serving you couldn't even buy a home.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
as an African American man,
Hmm.
and so over there on Patton Circle, I think there was only a few men over there that actually that weren't veterans.
Okay.
Everybody over there were veterans. All the
Okay.
way around Patton Circle
So Mr.
was
Lyon,
surrounded.
Mr. Davis, he was a vet. I didn't know he was a vet, man.
I don't know what Mr. Davis. I think see you had them guys like Mr. Davis that went to college
Okay.
back then.
Yeah.
Mr. Davis, and you remember Mr. Gregory?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. I know Gregory was he was a vet now, right? Yeah. I believe he
A
was.
veteran. No, I don't think Mr. Gregory was a vet. I think Mr. Gregory did a lot of schooling.
Mr. Gregory had that Corvette, right? Didn't he have a
Mr.
Corvette? He
Gregory,
used to drive around. Mr. Gregory
did Mr. Gregory had a
had
Corvette?
the afro.
No, you know what I'm thinking about? I'm thinking about yeah, Mr. Gregory was yeah, Mr. Gregory had the nice car you told me. I think Mr. Gregory was a vet.
Yeah.
And then again he may not have been.
Now I
But
know Mr.
anyway,
Ford. Mr. Ford was a vet. I know he was a vet because we should talk about it. He was one of my inspirations, I think, for going to the military.
Mr. Ford,
Mr. Ford, right?
yeah, Mr. Ford taught everybody in what's the ceramics,
Yeah, the
woodwork.
carpet. Yeah, man. That's
Yeah,
where I got
Mr.
my
Ford.
skills from, Joe.
Some of his some of his people that posted some of Father's Day on him. He was another one of those African American guys that were out there standing out in the community. He
Yeah,
was.
yeah.
Was Ford was. Yeah.
Yeah, I should work with him on the weekends, man.
Oh yeah?
I was a student in school, in the carpentry class, and on the weekends,
Yeah.
like I said, I was working, man. I needed some stuff, man. So, man, I was out there
Yeah.
forward, man, and them old houses, putting up sheetrock, and I mean, that's where I learned my skills, Joe. And I mean, I ain't bragging on myself, man, but Joe, I could build a house, man. I put a room in my house here so I could have an elevator,
Yeah.
to have an elevator installed in my house, and I
Hmm.
called a guy that, come out and do it, what he's gonna charge me. I said, man, I can do that myself, man. So, it ain't too much that I can't do. Well, probably right now a little weak at doing it, but that carpentry stuff, man, it was for Mr. Ford, man. Hey, look, I'd have been out some money, man. But he was
His son
my
his son
mentor.
Rembert is still doing stuff.
I heard. I
I
heard he's
think he
doing some
still got
things
the
around
house
there.
around there.
Okay.
His son Lehman went to school with my son. They graduated from A&T, North
Mm-hmm.
Carolina A&T
Okay.
University. I tell all the kids, man, get that education. I'm telling
Yeah.
you, man,
Yeah.
there's something that nobody can take from you. I don't care what you do. My son right now is cleaning up on the veteran benefits
Mm-hmm.
that we work for.
Yeah.
Uh, and he finished up, graduated from North Carolina A&T,
Mm-hmm.
and now he's at Wake Forest University now, and
Okay.
he's trying to get he's going for his master's, where he's going to get it, but
Mm-hmm.
he's going for his master's degree in
That's good, man. That's good.
purchasing and marketing and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So
Okay.
he's doing real good, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
So
good, man. That's good.
yeah. So I went back. I don't know if you know, but I went back and and got my degree because you're never too old, you
Yeah.
see. So I went back some years ago and graduated from North Carolina Central with a degree in criminal justice
Okay.
after 2 degrees over at Advanced Graphic Community College. So,
Mm-hmm.
and in order to keep up, you have to have some skills now.
Yeah. That's true. That's true.
In order to keep up with this young, uh, I don't know what this young society, this young generation of people,
Mm-hmm.
this fast moving, fast paced type stuff, electronics. If you don't know nothing
Yeah.
about that stuff, you
Yeah.
can't keep up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. There's a different breed coming up now, man. These some of these kids, man.
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah.
When we came up, man, if I'd have had that device they have, these cell phones that these kids had today that they walk around with, Joe, I'm gonna tell you right now. I mean, this is the way I think. I could be thinking wrong, but if I'd have had access to that, Joe, I'd probably be a multimillionaire.
So,
That's
yeah,
what I'm thinking right now. If I'd have had access
that's
to,
the truth.
because man, it ain't nothing I mean, anything you want to answer, it's right there, man. Especially with AI now,
It is. It is.
you know,
You don't even have to use your head anymore.
you don't, man. You don't.
You don't have to.
You
All
know.
you have to do is put it on that, punch it into that Google,
Yeah.
and Google will give you an answer.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
And you don't even really have to be sit in the class anymore. Most of your
Mm-mm.
stuff is online.
Yeah.
You just do it
Yeah.
online. You don't even have to sit in the class. That
Right.
old sit in the class type stuff. I
Yeah.
mean, that was that was a value back in the day. Remember
Yeah.
that you sat in the class with a bunch of other kids,
Well,
especially black and white.
you can
It was a
socialize.
value.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a value. I mean,
Mhm.
it's the way the world's set up. When you graduate from that or whatever, you go out there in society, you're still around a lot of different types of people, and you can deal with them. You're
Right.
not isolated. People
Right.
just they're going back into the old days,
Yeah.
uh, where you have in Vance County alone, a small town like this,
Hmm.
we have maybe we got Vance County is Vance County Middle School. You have I don't know how many charter schools. You
Okay.
have a thing called Henderson Collegiate now, where kids are learning in elementary school what's needed to go to college. In
Mm-hmm.
elementary school, it's taught there, and
Okay.
it's discipline. That Henderson Collegiate thing, that was one of the best things that came here. It
Mm-hmm.
was
Okay.
because it gets the kids' parents involved.
Yeah.
You can't go there and show off and think you can just, that's okay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even think they have that type of thing where you're suspended and stuff,
Yeah.
because a lot of times the kids want that. They want to get
Mm-hmm.
suspended.
Okay. Yeah.
They don't have no fear like we did, back in the
No,
day.
man.
I was
Yeah.
scared to get suspended, man.
Ain't no
If
scraps,
that thing
man.
got hold of my folks that I got suspended,
There are no repercussions, man, for this stuff,
nope,
man. These
nope,
kids,
it
man,
ain't.
I walk around, man, and you see them in groups, man, and they don't care what's coming. They have no respect for the elders. They don't care what's coming out their mouth. You know,
Mhm.
um, it's just crazy, man. Absolutely
Yeah.
crazy.
This guy was a pastor. I was looking at him on TV,
Mm-hmm.
and well, I know this one guy with a thick mustache on. 'Cause there's a lot of pastors that come on TV. These mega pastors, they
Yeah.
make millions of dollars, being out there. But this guy he quit. He resigned because he said he had sinned.
Mm.
I can't even think of what the guy named. And then there's another one that came on the day when I think he was 20 something years old.
Mm-hmm.
He was just fondling a 12-year-old. It's a lot of that kind of stuff going on out there,
Okay.
and the people, the woman is grown now, but she's saying she's then ended his career by stuff, by stating something that he done when he was young,
Yeah.
and wrong is wrong. Don't get me
Mm-hmm.
wrong, but you just don't want to. I just don't want to just get out there, and I just leave it like that. Just don't want to get out there and jeopardize what somebody else may have going on
Yeah.
because I'm involved in a lot of organizations,
Right.
and they're all doing good things, and
Yeah.
one smear could have hurt a lot of people. So
Right. Right.
I think I got going on what I'm going at this age anyway. Um, because when you get to be up there in age like we are, man, you just never know when it's our time.
That's right.
So
That's right. Now, and now, in saying that, what are you doing, or who you training, man, to pass that torch on to? Or I won't say pass the torch. Don't never pass your torch, as Joe Matters to say. But who's out there that you got that you can light their torch to carry on
well,
from what you and Dom
I've got
out there doing?
I've got a big event coming up with the Democrat Party because I'm first vice chair of the Vance County Democratic Party.
Mm-hmm.
They have an excellent chair lady, Angela Thornton,
Mm-hmm.
and we having a kind of like a rally uh, that happens Saturday before the Juneteenth celebration. For I've got this young kid that's I think he's 15. He's
Okay.
at Henderson Collegiate, and we're trying to get him on track to be the face of the Democrat Party
Okay.
locally, and
Mhm.
where to carry him with them we don't you don't know, and he's already a minister
Okay.
at that age. He's
Yeah.
ministering to a lot of kids right now.
Okay.
So he's one of the ones his name is I forget Jaden. I would call his last name, but Jaden is a real good kid, and he's instrumental in things that we're doing with the Vance County Democratic Party and trying to get the young people out for this election because those every vote's going to matter in this election. This
It
is
is.
a crucial election
It is.
coming up. If we let Donald Trump get back in there, he's he's already said he's going to be authoritarian.
Right.
He's going to turn into another Putin or somebody.
That's right. That's right.
And he tells you that's the thing about it. Just he tells you what he's going to do
Right in your face.
right in your face. He ain't trying to hide it.
Mm-mm. Not at all.
And they asked him a question, he answered, and hey, it is what it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's why it's crucial that we get these young people involved. So we have that event Saturday morning where we are inviting youth from the age of 16 to 35
Mm-hmm.
out to this event, and we're gonna have a bunch of politicians because there's a lot of battles going on. The first battle is the governor.
Hmm.
Our governor, and I don't know if you heard of Mark Robinson
Man, who
is
hasn't?
running for governor too.
Who hasn't heard
Oh,
that?
gosh,
That
thank you
crazy,
for
crazy
knowing
dude, man.
about it. Because man, I'm telling you, because
Yeah.
I have my ideas about the LGBTQ community,
Hmm.
and we all do, you know.
Yeah.
But hey, I'm not gonna step on people's rights because they are gay or whatever. You know
Can't
what I
tell
mean?
nobody how to live their
Uh,
life, man. That's
that's
that,
right.
that's
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 right.
that's them. You know, they not to do
All
anything to hurt me.
hot but
You know.
hot button issue.
Yeah.
It's a hot button issue. That is, and the issue on abortion. They're hot button issues, man.
Yeah.
You know, people have it's swinging. You know,
Yeah.
with that. You know, you can
Yeah.
agree with it. You don't.
That's
You
right.
know what I mean? So now you got it back to the states. That's the way they wanted. They wanted it back to the states. So now the states got it, and some of these states want to get all. You know, they want to be real. You know, gun ho about it. Hey,
Yeah.
after so long, you can't have an abortion. You know, and
Right.
even with this pill they just came out with,
Yeah.
uh, you know, they still saying that you can get the pill.
Hmm.
So it's just a hot button issue.
Women's rights, man. They
Yeah, that's women's that's their rights. You know, if
that's right.
they want to do it, you know, whatever they do with their body is nobody's concern but theirs. They the
That's right.
ones have to answer to the good Lord, right?
That's true.
So
That's true, man.
you know, if they have, you know, just like you know
But that dude,
that
man,
issue, LGBTQ issue,
yeah,
hot button issues.
yeah. Mark Robinson, man, yeah, that's just like Trump, man. Can't let that guy get
Yeah,
in. You
they're
know.
all a part of the code.
Yeah.
That guy, Scott, he
Tim,
wanted to try to get as his VP because he
Tim
think he
Scott.
can get the
Tim Scott.
what's his name?
Tim
Yep,
Scott.
Tim Scott.
Yeah, he's one
And then
another
there's
one of
another
the
one.
worst
I
human
think a
beings
guy
I ever
named
seen.
Banks. Huh?
Tim Scott, one of the worst human beings that I've ever seen, man.
I just don't understand him, man.
Yeah, yeah.
And Tim Scott is not no young dude, man.
Like I said,
You see
Joe,
what I'm saying?
some of
He
these
ain't
folks,
no
man,
young
been
dude.
through some of the same stuff we went through coming up, man, and segregation. You know, and I don't
Yeah,
understand how they can just lean to that mess. You know, I don't understand how they just can
I
accept
don't
it.
either.
Yeah, yeah, it's crazy.
He says up there everything comes out of his mouth. They asked him the other week about Donald Trump, and you know, I see Mark. You see, Pence ain't never go back out, did he?
No, but he's gonna,
Pence.
but he's gonna support him.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
he already came out and said he's going to
yeah.
support. Why would you support somebody that wants you dead?
Wanted to hang you, man. Like I said, it's something about this guy. I don't know when it's going to come out, but something about Donald Trump that I don't know. I just don't understand it.
I don't understand it either.
I don't. I don't.
I,
I don't.
I don't get it. I don't understand how somebody could support somebody with the kind of values he has. You
Yes.
know, as far as the thing about them, he talked about now. This is the United States that has all kind of breeds of people in it, and
Hmm.
you come down the gate talking about how them Mexicans, these are Hispanic people. They coming over here. They are murderers. They come out of what do you call it? All kinds of homes stuff. They robbers. They rapists.
Hmm.
Oh, wow. You come down there feeding that kind of garbage to people, man, and then you gonna vote for him?
Exactly. I'm just going to say, and then the majority of
And
them will vote for him after hearing
they
all of that.
will. That I don't understand.
Yeah.
Help me understand that, bro. How these how that and I see them when the polls come because like I said I've been in a couple of elections now, but
Hmm.
and they kind of they don't want to come out and say what they want
Right.
or they don't want to represent what they're looking for in a president.
Yeah.
But yet you ask them, no, we not voting for Donald Trump. So why don't y'all say what y'all doing?
Yeah.
Because people confused.
Yeah. That's true.
People confused.
Hmm.
And you ask the average African American, they're gonna tell you, I'm not voting for Donald Trump. I'm just not even voting.
Mm.
That's
Yeah.
what they. That's
Yeah.
what some of them say anyway.
Well,
They're not even voting. I
I
come
hate to hear
across
him
a
say
lot of
that, man.
African Americans.
I hate to hear him say
Huh?
they're not going to vote. So I hate to hear him say they're not going to vote. But you know,
That's it.
a vote if you don't vote, you may as well just go ahead and give that vote to Trump because
That's
vote
what everybody
that you
said.
don't put in, you're just voting for Trump. If you don't vote,
Exactly. That's what
you know, you
that's
just
that's
give
what
them
that's
one
what
up
they're
for
saying
'em.
right now.
Yeah. So
And you don't understand. You don't understand because you can ask them why you're not voting.
yeah,
I don't know. I just ain't voting.
yeah.
What you mean? That ain't no answer.
That's because they not watching, man. I mean, and sometimes, man, you just gotta. I mean, you have the worst of the two evils, man. You got to go one way or the other. You know,
Exactly.
just hold your
You
nose,
got to.
man, and go on for the other guy versus that. The one that you know is a demon. I'm
Right?
not gonna just give it to him, man. Not gonna do it.
No, I'm going to vote, and I'm
Yeah,
going to vote for. They said a lot of things going on with Biden, and Biden is and I'm going to vote for a Democrat anyway. So
yeah,
I'm a Democrat,
yeah, yeah,
and there's a lot of things going on with Biden's health right now. I don't know, this kind of iffy, but it still ain't going to hinder me voting.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Because he's 80 some years old.
Yeah, I think his cognitive
And
abilities are good, man. But that body, man, that body's gonna slow down anyway. So I think a lot of people
yeah, for
look at
sure.
Biden's movements and equate that to, that he's got something going on upstairs. I think upstairs he's good,
Right.
but that body, man,
Hmm.
you get up into your 70s and 80s. I haven't gotten there yet, but from what I've been through, I mean, I probably feel like I'm up there. So I know how to, how that body wears down, man, and slows your
Yeah, well,
momentum and
that's
stuff.
that's true, man.
So
Like I said, my body wants to be in scouting as long as I can make it. I
yeah,
mean, my mind do. Like you were
yeah,
saying, my
yeah,
body
mine's
is
sharp,
hey,
man. But
phew,
you put that body through a lot, man, with football and all of that. And like you say, you can't get out there and run a 60-yard dash, man, or 50-yard dash.
no.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I told Floyd, man, you can't hang with these young boys like that. He got
No,
out there in that pool whooped his butt. That swimming pool. We were swimming, but I didn't go. I said, man, I'm going back and get dinner ready for the kids. When they get out
yeah.
that pool, they're gonna be hungry.
Mm-hmm.
So Floyd said he hung out there with the boys. I got out in that pool and stuff, walking around there.
Yeah.
I said, man, so when he got back, he said, man, I don't know if I can hang like this. I said, man, you better stop trying to hang with them little, especially them little young boys, man. They got that diehard energy, boy.
You get out there and get pushing that water around, man, and then you get out of that pool, man. You feel the effects of gravity, man, because you're weightless when you're in that water. And
For real.
you get out of yeah, you weightless in that water, man. And you get out there, and start trying to walk, and man, you feel it. You feel the effects, man.
Yep.
What you got planned for the day, Joe? The rest of the day, man.
Yeah, I'm going down here we got a new headquarters downtown.
Got a what now?
Uh, and I'm going
You have a what?
a new headquarters for the Democrat Party, Vance
Okay.
County Democrat Party
Okay.
headquarters downtown. It's an
All right.
old telephone company down there. It used to be there. Then they said it was a dentist in there one time.
Mm-hmm.
It's
It's
on the
across
other
from the
side
bank.
of Garnett Street, in
Oh
front of
yeah,
First
yeah. I know.
Baptist Church.
I know where it's at. I remember that
Oh
building.
yeah,
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Right
yeah.
across
That
from
well,
the bank.
that's what we're utilizing as our Democrat Party headquarters this time around. So I'm gonna go down there and help her out for a
So
while to get our banner up and
okay.
stuff, and
Okay.
hang around there for a while. Then
Yeah.
I'm gonna come back and watch just this probably the final game of this NBA playoff
Okay.
that's coming on.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. Well, look, tell me before I'm gonna let you go. I appreciate you talking to me, but look, tell me, do you want to tell me a little bit more about the United for Change, or you think you covered all you want to cover for that? Because I want to make sure people understand what's going on with that, and is there anything you want to say
I
about
think
that?
I think that's pretty much. We just received some pretty good donations for that scholarship fund. So
Mm-hmm.
in the future we want to find us a building so we can uh, reach out more to the communities and help out with people that are struggling for
Okay.
uh, paying their light bills. That's one
Okay.
of the goals that they're trying to do.
Yeah.
Want to sponsor the Boy Scout troop, and
Okay.
any way we can do with that. If they going camping or something, we can
Yeah.
slip in some funds for the help.
Okay.
Pay for the cost of camping. Those
Okay.
are some of the things. Some of the things we want to do later on
Okay.
down the line. And so
Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Uh, One thing I heard with and I don't know what's going on with that. I understand that are they going to integrate the girls with the boys as far as scouting, or What's going on with that?
Well, you know what? I was kind of not fearful of that, but I didn't think it was a good idea to the two of them together. You
Okay.
know, especially when you're going out in the woods and you don't have a lot of supervision.
Yeah, I
That
understand.
but you're supposed
Yeah.
to have leadership and stuff. But
Hmm.
anyway, from my concerns is they just changed the name to Scouting America.
Right. I see that.
It was it was BSA Scouting.
Okay.
BSA, they still had BSA in it, but it was BSA Scouting. That's what it was.
Hmm.
And before that, as you know, it was Boy Scouts of America.
Okay.
But there's a lot of changes going on. Man. The fees are $171 per scout.
Hmm.
They filed bankruptcy, and a lot of their donors dropped off. And but they're building back up. They're building the monies back up, and
Uh-huh.
people are starting to donate again. But uh, as far as this is the way I looked at it, a church in a charter has the say on that. If you want on your charter, a charter is your agree your contract.
Okay.
And it's ran by it's governed by the church,
Hmm.
and if the church says we only want boys, that's
Hmm.
what they have, and which that's what our charter says,
Okay.
boys.
Okay.
But if a charter wants boys and girls, you
Yeah.
can also have that specified on your charter.
Okay.
So it's not like they're telling you you have to allow girls in or what. If you don't have anywhere for girls, they
Hmm.
can't come in. I mean, you
Okay.
could what the best you could do is say, well, that unit down the road down there, they have girls in there, you can go there.
Hmm.
And with girls, you have another thing because you have your leadership has to be girls too. You
Hmm.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Boys or men can really tell the girls, a lot about life skills and stuff.
Right.
Uh, and they can handle all those different what do you call it, features that women go through.
Yeah.
They'll be able to help them out with it. What can we do?
Yeah.
When it comes time for them, for something to happen,
Yeah.
that time of the month or whatever,
Right. Right. Right.
those type of things we
Yeah.
can't deal with, on our
Yeah.
level. So
Yeah.
that's the way it's set up. The church governs it.
Okay. So you don't see your troop or whatever integrating with girls anytime soon.
Uh,
Is that something you see coming in
I've had somebody reached out already,
Okay.
uh, and they are with the LGBTQ community,
Uh-huh.
uh, and you know what I mean. For right now, and we're just getting started. I just came in last year
Okay.
as the scoutmaster. I had sat down for a couple of years and weren't involved. I'm just reaping the rewards of all the boys that were in there with me.
Okay.
Um, they're moving on to adulthood and doing
Hmm.
things out there.
Right.
And so I had to sit back for a while and just the good Lord just said, Joe, man, you need to get back out there and start working with the kids some.
Yeah.
So and you don't tell him no.
Oh yeah. Right.
You don't tell him
Yeah.
no.
You get
Or
that call and you got it's almost like being in the military, man. You get that call and
yeah,
you got to go, man. You can't say no, I'm gonna
he-
check this one out. No, you got to go.
that's
You're
right.
right.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. So
Hmm.
so I went on back out there last year, and I've been with these boys ever since, and we've came a long way. So like I said, I got somebody that is interested in being the scoutmaster for the girls.
Okay. So you
But
still at this point, y'all gonna kind of still keep it segregated. Is what
there it is.
I'm hearing.
There it is. There
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
In a
I think.
nutshell, we're just gonna keep it like it is right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
And if we can send them somewhere else where they can accommodate girls, because you have to have total accommodation
Yeah. Yeah.
with the girls. You have to have total accommodation.
Yeah. I heard that, man.
So
I mean, I got some thoughts on it, but I don't. I'm gonna
yeah, I
reserve
do
my
too.
I'm gonna reserve my thoughts on it right now because I don't have no
Well,
involvement in it. So I'm
if you
just
look
gonna,
at it though,
you know.
it's the same thing with us though. Remember,
Hmm.
when we were growing up, they had a woman's army and a men's army. Remember,
Yeah. Yeah.
and so eventually, the army is the army. You got black and I mean,
Yeah.
you have black, white, whatever, but
Right.
you have the women and the men all
Hmm.
combined together.
Yeah.
But then later on in life, look at women. They wanted to get into the big units like us,
Yeah.
like that we were in, like 11 Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen any women in level Bravo. I don't think there's any women in level Bravo.
Mm.
But you have women that you never had women pilots,
Oh yeah, man. You got women
but
there
now you got women
flying these
pilots.
doggone fighter jets, man. I mean, you don't know who
Yeah,
flying these jets and these planes nowadays, man. You know?
I know it.
Yeah.
Well, they're doing everything that we do. We do. The truck
Oh yeah.
drivers.
Yeah.
You only had men truck drivers. Now you have women truck drivers. It's
Yeah.
the whole thing now. Now it's just doesn't involve the
Yeah.
youth organizations now.
Yeah. But I'm gonna tell you, man, I had some of my best leaders, man, or commanders when I was in the military were females, believe it or not, that I served under. I don't know if you
Yeah,
in the army, if you had any, female
I,
commanders in
I
your,
didn't.
in the stuff you
Not in
guys
11
did, but
Bravo.
yeah. But I mean, man, we had,
Not in 11 Bravo. I don't think there's any
mm,
of them in there that are.
yeah,
That's a tough training. I
yeah,
don't even think you hardly have any in the special forces units.
mm,
You may have one or two females that could endure that type of training,
mm-hmm, yeah,
that ranger training and what the Green Beret
mm-hmm,
uh, and all of that kind of stuff, man. I don't think there's many of them in there.
mm-hmm.
They just started inviting them in the academies, right? Air Force
Uh,
Academy. Well, that they may have
but
been
yeah,
had them in
yeah,
the Air Force Academy.
they had the little thing going on. You right for a minute there with getting them into the academies. Yeah, yeah, but I think they got it all straightened out. But yeah, mm,
Yeah.
yep,
So,
mm-hmm,
yeah. I tell
yeah,
you what, like you know, in scouting, I would love for to have some of them in there because on down the line, and like we were saying earlier, I had somebody that was interested, but you got to look at it. A lot of people and a lot of things that they're thinking too when you're
mm-hmm,
dealing with that because who a lot of people they want to isolate their kids away from, especially in that syndrome going on with Donald Trump
mm-hmm,
about the history of what these kids are getting fed. You know what I mean?
yeah,
They want to take the books off the shelf about the
oh yeah,
history.
right,
Uh, they don't want LGBTQ people to leave that kind of impact on their kids,
yeah,
in
right,
which they're going to make the choice anyway.
that's right,
You can't hide them and you can't isolate them away from that type of stuff
that's true.
either
Yeah,
because they're going to be, it's everywhere.
yeah,
It's everywhere, all over the TVs and stuff.
yeah,
When are you going to turn the TVs off?
mm-hmm,
Because a lot of that stuff is going on out there. So I
yeah,
can, we think whatever we think about it, but still, it's the way the world is going now,
yeah,
you
yeah,
know.
yeah,
And
yeah, yeah,
so
yeah,
that's where I'm at with that.
yeah,
I just, like I said, regardless of, because at later on in my scouting career, I had been what you call so successful that I actually went in and did an application to as a Girl Scout
mm-hmm,
leader,
okay,
a Girl Scout leader. I wanted to help with that, and I got everything went through real good, and I was going to get started, and that's when COVID hit. And I said
mm-hmm,
I ain't going to even do that, go that route. So
okay,
because I want in my nonprofit organization, I wanted to have uh, a charter of my own, Carolina
understand,
United for Change,
yeah,
to infiltrate with the Girl Scouts and Boy Scouts. Those would
okay,
be two of the co-organizations within our organization that kids can come in and join
mm-hmm,
because it's all about the youth. You know, we're gonna be dead and gone, and they're gonna be still down here, and they're gonna want to. If they don't get their stuff together, they ain't gonna know what hit them.
that's true,
They're not gonna know what hit them. When it's time to for a president to do what it needs to do to help this world because this earth is, uh, and I don't know what your thoughts is on climate change, man, but hey, these storms are getting bigger and bigger.
it's
These
true, man,
fires are getting,
yeah,
the fires are getting, and they're even now they got one down there about 14,000 acres of land down in Los Angeles, off of Los Angeles, that already started.
yeah,
Just look at it. The 2 months that it's the hottest, July and August.
oh yeah, climate change
You
is real,
know,
man, it's real, whether you want to
it's
believe it or not.
real. It's
If you
real, but
if you
they
got a
don't
guy like
believe in that.
you
The
got a
other
guy like
side don't
Donald,
believe in it.
yeah, you got a guy like Donald Trump trying to get in there that don't believe it, man. He still wants to deal on this fossil fuel and all this stuff, man. we're getting away from that
For
stuff,
real.
man.
For
These
real.
electric cars, man, and stuff,
Yeah.
before long, people gonna be flying, Joe. People gonna be just going out and getting their car and taking off just like helicopters, man, or whatever. I mean, we probably
Well,
won't,
like what? You
but
remember
I'm
that old
guaranteed
commercial?
it's coming.
Remember that old commercial, the Jetsons?
Yeah, yeah.
Those gentlemen used flying around in the car.
Oh yeah, man. I mean, they got experimental
That would be,
cars now,
yeah.
man. You know, I mean, I do this droning thing, Joe. I got a couple of drones that I fly, man. And I mean, when I used to go out and fly, I would use the control and fly around with them. But I mean, it's technology, man. Is just, I mean, and I'm getting back to these car things, man. These drones, man. I mean, I just like when I did the Henderson thing with my drone, I just got an iPad. I just sit there and program and tell it what I want to do, man. And I hit one button, man, and wait for it to come back. I tell it where to go and take
What?
pictures. I tell it where to, to
I want to get.
do the
I want
video.
to do that myself.
Well, I tell you what, next time I come up, man, I'll see if I can get up with you and show you how it works. But I just did last weekend. I was in Franklinton, North Carolina, with
You
met
was
my
in
sisters
Franklinton?
down there. Yeah, I was in Franklinton. I
Oh,
got some sisters that live in Franklinton, and my sister from Baltimore came down, and my wife and I went up and met them. So I took my drone with me, man, and we just rode around all day and walked around downtown. And I took my drone out, man, and I got a video up that I did some shots of Franklinton with my drone. But a lot of that stuff, man, I just send it up, man, and tell it that hey, go do this, go, give me some shots here, take some video there, and it take off, and I'm standing there talking to my sisters, and then while it waiting for the drone to come back, and it come back and land exactly where it took off at. So getting back to
yeah.
technology, I mean, soon, man, people gonna be just getting in the cars, man, and just taking off, man, and and just like these drones, man, and come on back, you know. So
Well, they told us. They told us these days were coming
yeah,
years ago. They told us these days were coming. How
yeah,
they
they're
when
coming.
you order something on on Amazon or whatever, and they just
Yeah,
fly over and bring it to you, put it on your
yeah.
porch, drop it off on your porch, and keep on flying. You ain't gonna need
We
all them people
we got a
in them
big
trucks.
Amazon factory down here in Fayetteville, and like I said, I'm a commercial drone pilot. And I'm thinking about well, before I got sick, I was gonna probably do it with UPS, drone delivery.
Yeah,
So I might,
yeah,
I don't know, I might, man, do the thing with Amazon, depending on how much time of my time, and like I'm like you, I'm retired, and I like my
right.
free time. I might, man,
Yeah, me too.
with Amazon and go on and if I can do it from my house, yeah, I'll fly some drones for them, you know
Yeah,
delivering
yeah.
packages and stuff. But if I
That's
can
why I
do
said I
it
wanted
in
to
my
look
house
into it
and
because
do it. Yeah,
a lot of that stuff, the kids are fascinated with it.
yeah,
Like remote
yeah,
control aircraft, like
hmm
stuff like that. Them kids,
yeah,
eh, you know, because they get bored so easy. If you got
yeah,
something for them to do like
hmm
that, they could look at it or see.
yeah.
They can see it and do it. They,
Well,
it's a good thing.
I tell you what, Joe. I don't want to promise you anything, but like I said, I have a couple of drones that I have here. If you want with your kids, man, I'll be willing to come up there, man, and bring a couple of drones
I
up
would def
there and
I
introduce
would
them.
definitely love to have you. I
Well,
would definitely love to have
well,
you come down.
that's something we can talk about, man. I see if I can, we can
Okay.
get some time up, man, before the summer's up. They get back in school and bring a couple of drones up, man, so they can see how they work and let them fly them. And hey, man, it may get their interest sparked into that technology and talk about how to get licensed. I mean, they can get licensed at I don't want to. I think about 12, 13 years old. They can get a pilot's license themselves to fly drones.
Wow.
You don't have to be a
Wow.
pilot to fly, get a license to fly, but to make money, you got to get your pilot's license. But that's all something we can talk about when I come up. But yeah, I'd be glad to come up there, man, and do that for
Yeah.
you. It's something you thinking
Yeah,
about
you got my number. You got my number. Call me
doing.
anytime, bro.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So look, we've been talking, man, about 2 hours now, and I appreciate that. But look,
That
yeah,
sounds good.
time goes fast, man, when when you're talking and you're
Yeah.
interested,
Especially
Yeah.
being comfortable. Like I said,
Oh
11
yeah.
o'clock, 10,
Yeah.
11 o'clock in the morning is good time for me
But that's
because
but that was
everything,
good. Yeah.
don't
Yeah.
start jumping off to after lunch.
Okay. Well, I ain't gonna hold you no longer, Joe,
I,
but we can still
I
get
could,
back up at another
yeah.
time. You got something you want to talk about, but any final
Okay.
words you wanna put out there before I let you go?
All I can say, bro, to anybody who's listening,
Hmm.
uh, Pass it on, man. We got to get out there and vote. We got to get out there. If we don't vote, we ain't got no say. So,
That's right.
you know,
You're right.
we
You
don't
don't
vote.
vote, you ain't
So
got nothing to say about it.
vote.
Yeah.
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 Your parents, you get your kids or whatever, get them registered. Those that ain't registered, get them registered. We need to get out there and start voting and getting ready for this thing. It is only about 5 months away.
That's right.
So,
That's your call
so
to action.
that's it.
That's your call to
That's
action.
it.
Yes, sir.
That's it.
You're right.
Yep.
You're right. But
All
Joe,
right, bro.
man, well, look, I'm not gonna hold you any longer. I appreciate you coming on my podcast and talking to me.
All
You
right.
have a good
God
day, man.
bless you.
All right. God
All
bless you
right.
too, brother. All right. Bye-bye.